So let's start with line. Line is formed by connecting two or more points. You randomly take any 2 points and you connect them. So a line is formed. Now this line can be categorized into 3 different categories: line, line segment, and ray. Let's look at them. Line. A line does not have definite endpoints. A line can extend till infinity. So a line is extendable both sides to infinity. So it can go from infinity to infinity, and this line does not have a fixed length. Whereas if you look at the line, if you look at the case of line segment, a line segment has 2 definite endpoints. So these are the 2 endpoints that a line segment has, and the length of a line segment is fixed. The line segment cannot be extended till infinity. Ray. Ray is a combination of line and line segment. It has one endpoint which is fixed. That means it cannot be extended in this direction, whereas the other endpoint is not fixed. It's an open thing on the other side. It can be extended in only one direction. So one direction it can be extended. If there are 2 or more lines, let's look at the case. So here I have L1, L2, L3 and L4. I have 4 lines which are there. These lines can be parallel. Parallel means the distance between the 2 parallel lines would always remain constant. And from now on, whenever we are talking about distances, we'll always talk about perpendicular distance. So when I'm talking about distance, I'll always talk about perpendicular distance. The perpendicular distance between the 2 parallel lines is constant. It will never increase, it will never decrease, even well produced till infinity. So parallel lines never ever intersect. Here L1 and L2 are the lines which are parallel. The lines could intersect. Now if I look at this case, L1 is intersecting with L4 at this point, L2 is intersecting with L4 at this point, L1 is intersecting with L3 at this point, L2 is intersecting at L3 with this point, and L4 is intersecting with L3 at this point. So the 2 lines could be parallel if the distance between them is constant. The 2 lines could be intersecting. If the 2 lines intersect, right, the distance at the point of intersection would be considered as 0. The third situation is the lines could be perpendicular. Now perpendicular means whenever the lines intersect, the angle which is formed between them is a right angle. So here if I look at it, L1 and L4 are perpendicular. It is given in the thing, and L2 and L4 is also perpendicular to each other. They are intersecting lines, yet the angle which is formed between them is 90 degrees. Transversal. A line intersecting 2 parallel lines is known as transversal. So L3 is a transversal to L1 and L2. Let's look at curves. So curves can be of various types. If you look at your right hand side of the screen, there are various types of curves which are given. The curves can be classified as a simple curve. Simple curve means there is no crossing of the lines which is taking place. So if you look at the curves, you can identify B, C, F, D, G, H, I, all of them as simple curves with an exception of A and E, because in this kind of curves, the line does not cross each other. A curve can also be classified as an open curve or a closed curve. Again, look at your right hand side. Open curve, as the name suggests, the curve does not form a closed space. So F, G, H, I, all of them are examples of open curve, whereas A, B, C, D and E are the examples of closed curve. Angles. Whenever 2 lines intersect, they always form an angle. So this angle which is formed is known as the angle between the 2 lines. Now this angle could be of various types. This angle could be an acute angle. Acute angle is an angle whose measure is between 0 and 90 degree. So if an angle measures between 0 and 90, it will be termed as acute. If an angle measures exactly equal to 90 degree, it will be termed as a right angle. And if the angle is more than 90 but less than 180, it will be termed as an obtuse angle. So any angle can be classified as acute, right, or obtuse depending upon its measure. Let's look at the case. This is the case that we have. If you look at this angle is less than 90 degrees. So this will be an acute angle that we'll have. The measure of this angle is 90 degree. It will be known as a right angle. And the measure of this complete angle is more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. It will be termed as an obtuse angle. Now I know in a straight line the angle is 180 degree. So if I extend this, the total angle that I should get would be 180 degree, but only if I measure this part of it, it will be less than 180. So it's an obtuse angle. Other types of angles could be complementary angles. If two angles sum up to give you 90 degree, those angles are known as complementary angles. Let's look at it. Here A and B sum up to give you 90 degree, so they will be termed as complementary angles. If two angles sum up to give you 180 degree, they are known as supplementary angles. Supplementary angles also form a linear pair. So A and B forms a complete line. Reflex angle. Two angles sum up to give you 360 degree, reflex angle. So if you look at this case, this is angle A. The leftover angle would be a reflex of this angle. Angle A plus angle B would give you 360 degree. So here B is known as reflex of angle A. Okay, let's move ahead and let's look at the relationship that you have in terms of angles. Now here what I'm considering is this line L1 and L2 are given to you as parallel lines and L3 is a transversal. So this is a transversal which is given to us, and L1 and L2 are parallel to you. Now if I look at the first set of angles, the first set of angles are vertically opposite angle. So what happens? Two lines intersect. This and this angle would be vertically opposite angles, and this angle would be vertically opposite angles. Now the rule is vertically opposite angles are equal. So if I look here, intersection between L1 and L3, a set of vertically opposite angles A and D will be formed, B and C will be formed, which will be equal to each other. Similarly, E and H will be formed and F and G will be formed, which will be equal to each other. Now this is a very simple concept to understand. If you have a linear pair, right, the angle is 180 degree. If this line divides, this total angle, let me call this as X and Y, will sum up to 180 degree. Similarly, for this line, Y and Z will form a linear pair. Now what I have, X and Y form a linear pair and Y and Z also form a linear pair. So X becomes equal to Z. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Similarly, this is Y, so this will also be Y. If two lines are parallel, if two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, that is what we have already seen, you will have a set of corresponding angles. Now in the figure that I have, corresponding angles would be angle B and F, angle D and H, angle A and E, and angle C and G. They are a set of corresponding angles, and whenever you have two lines parallel intersected by a transversal, corresponding angles are equal. The third set of angles that are formed are alternate angles. Again, alternate angles can be classified as interior and exterior. Now if you look at this, if you look at the first case, angle A, if you look at the first case, angle A, right, was equal to angle D. In the second case, angle D is equal to angle H. So I can just look at the two cases and I can say angle A is equal to angle H. Similarly, I can look at the other things as well. So other things being, if you look at this thing, angle B is equal to angle C and angle B is also equal to angle F. So if I compare these two cases, angle C will be equal to angle F. So rest of the two can also be derived in a similar way. What is it? Angle E, if you look at it, is equal to angle H, and angle H is also equal to angle D. So angle D will be equal to angle E. Alternate angles are interior and exterior. Interior means this angle. C and F are equal, E and D are equal. Exterior means A is equal to H and B is equal to G that you have. So these set of angles, so if I just draw here, these set of angles, this will be equal to this will be equal to this angle will be equal to this angle, and this angle would be equal to this angle, would be known as alternate angles. Corresponding angles look like this and this, these angles, this equal to this. Opposite interior angles. Now if you look at here, E, C, D and F. So if you look at again opposite interior angles, I am talking about E and C, which are these angles, are sum up to 180 degrees. So these, the interior angles, form a supplementary pair. This and this also sum up to 180 degree. Now for corresponding angles, alternate angles and opposite interior angles, it is mandatory that the lines are parallel. However, for vertically opposite angles, there is no mandatory requirement for the lines to be parallel. Any lines intersecting can form vertically opposite angles, but corresponding, alternate and opposite interior angles would only be formed when you are taking the case of parallel lines. So if I sum up all of the things, angle A is equal to D, D is equal to E, E is equal to H. So if I just again draw this thing, this A will be equal to this angle, this will be equal to this will be equal to this. The leftover angle, this will be equal to this, will be equal to this, will be equal to this. So if you just look at this, if this angle is X, this angle will again be X. Vertically opposite angle, this angle again will be X. Interior angles, this angle again will be X, vertically opposite angle. The leftover angle, which let me call it as Y, would be actually 180 minus X. This is Y, this will be Y, this will be Y, and this will be